Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Salvo, and I'm here today with your mini lesson, and we are going to be talking about dividing integers. When we're dividing integers, we are going to start off by representing our positives with yellow and our negatives with red. And it's going to be a lot in our questioning. So if I look at my first question is asking, if you split 6 items into groups of 2 items, how many groups will there be? So I'm going to start off with my positive 6 in my problem, and I'm going to represent positive 6 with 6 yellow chips. Now, I need to split my positive 6 items into groups of positive 2 items. So here's a group of positive 2, here's a group of positive 2, and here's a group of positive 2. So if you split 6 items into groups of 2 items, how many groups will there be? And we have 1, 2, 3 groups. So the quotient, when we do positive 6 divided by positive 2, we get a positive 3. Moving on to our next question. We have a negative 6 divided by a negative 2. If you split negative 6 items into groups of negative 2 items, how many groups will there be? So we are going to start off by representing our negative 6 with 6 red integer chips. So we have our negative 6 items, and we need to split them into groups of negative 2 items. So here's a group of negative 2, here's a group of negative 2, and here's a group of negative 2. So how many groups of negative 2 items do we have? There's 1, 2, 3 groups. So a negative 6 divided by a negative 2 will give us a quotient of a positive 3 for the 3 groups. Moving on, our next problem, we have a negative 6 divided by a positive 2. And the question that we're going to ask here is, if you divvy negative 6 items into 2 equal groups, how many items are in each group? So our question is a little different this time. We're going to begin again by modeling our first integer, which is negative 6 with 6 red integer chips. This time we need to divvy our negative 6 items into 2 equal groups. So I'm going to divide my negative 6 items up into 2 groups. And then the question asks, how many items are in each group? Well, if I look at each group has 3 red chips, which is a negative 3. So a negative 6 divided by a positive 2 gives us a quotient of negative 3. So to sum up what we've done with our problem so far, when you divide integers with the same sign, the answer is positive. So if we go back to the first 2 problems that we did, we had a positive divided by a positive with the same sign that gave us a positive, and a negative divided by a negative, which are the same signs, and our answer is also positive. Now, when you divide integers with different signs, the answer is negative. So if we go to the last problem that we just did, we have a negative 6 divided by a positive 2, where the signs are different, a negative divided by a positive, and our answer is negative. If I were to do this problem with a positive integer first, so a positive 6 divided by a negative 2, since my signs are different, I divide my integers. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and the different signs will give my answer a negative sign. That was dividing integers for today. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.